Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric enters Ridge's mind. In the design office, Eric informed Brooke that, like everyone else, he and Donna were residing in one of the guest houses while the main house was being worked on. After everything that transpired with Brooke and Ridge, Eric expressed his concern for her and expressed surprise that they hadn't been reunited. While acknowledging that it had been challenging, Brooke bemoaned the fact that Taylor had every intention of bringing Ridge to the altar. Eric promised to reach Ridge before it was too late, and Brooke grinned as he walked away. Ridge informed Taylor across the hall that Thomas had called off his engagement to Paris. "It makes sense how much their wedding means to him as a distraction right now," he said, adding that Taylor thought Thomas was well. In order to choose a wedding date, Taylor informed Ridge that she was organizing a special meal for the two of them that evening. She believed that the family should be reunited now that Thomas was home. Thomas wanted an excuse to celebrate, Taylor continued. As he entered, Eric interrupted Taylor and Ridge, asking if they were engaged. According to Taylor, they planned to go on a date that night and were hoping Eric would be understanding. He answered with a dejected expression. After witnessing Taylor bid Ridge farewell with a kiss, Eric firmly shut the door behind her and sternly reprimanded his son. "You must take action." Ridge told Eric not to say it, but he still barked. Eric continued. He advised Ridge to stop telling himself that Taylor wasn't the woman he truly desired. He urged everyone to end this thing tonight and go on with their lives. Telling Eric that Thomas was in town and that he was worried, Ridge cut the conversation short. Eric brushed it off, claiming that all he wanted to discuss was reuniting Ridge and Brooke. He assured Ridge that he could still be with Brooke and be regarded as a decent person. Although Brooke was the love of Ridge's life, Eric reminded out that Ridge and Brooke also had a family, and that someone would always be harmed. Ridge stated that he didn't want to repeat this because he was exhausted. He must make a decision and choose wisely, Eric advised him. He brought to Ridge's mind the moment he believed she was dying in Italy. "You don't want her gone," Eric pleaded. He urged Ridge to acknowledge his love for Brooke. Eric expressed regret for pressing, but he was concerned about Ridge's potential consequences if he made a poor decision. After telling him he had to pick Brooke, he gave him a hug and walked out of the office. Ridge paced before experiencing memories of his time spent with Taylor. While in a guest home in Forresters, Thomas thought back on his talk with Ridge and told him how crucial it was that he didn't disappoint them. He assured himself that he was certain Ridge would not harm them. They discussed the engagement when Taylor entered. When Taylor informed Thomas that they would be choosing a date later that night, Thomas became excited and joyful. He wasn't very interested in discussing Paris when Taylor inquired about it. He was more preoccupied with Taylor's positive developments. Thomas revealed that he had discussed with Ridge the possibility of keeping his promise to Taylor. He expressed his excitement about attending their wedding. It was good to have Eric on her side, Katie said Brooke at the design office. By stating that she believed Ridge likely cared for Taylor, but didn't believe he should deny himself the love he could have with Brooke, Katie minimized Ridge's relationship with Taylor. Thomas needed to take a step back and stop worrying about what his parents were or weren't doing. According to Katie and Brooke, Katie hoped that therapy was helping her deal with the things Thomas had done to Hope in the past. She believed that Brooke was unfairly held responsible by Thomas for Ridge's connection with Taylor. Brooke was unsure of what to anticipate, and Katie questioned whether Thomas could lose his temper. According to Brooke, she would not be concentrating on Thomas. "All right, stop thinking about him. He's only been home for 5 minutes, and already he's causing you trouble?" Katie scoffed. As long as Ridge's son isn't controlling his life and pressuring him to wed Taylor, Brooke stated that she would like to have a positive connection with him. Katie believed that Thomas could spend as much time as he wanted on the guilt trip, but Brooke was Ridge's true love. As Ridge entered the guest house, Taylor was experiencing romantic recollections and got the wine and candles ready. She informed him that he would soon be her husband, and that she was looking forward to the evening. Ridge was plagued by Eric's remarks as they embraced. Is Daphne and Liam's pact to get dirty in order to find true love? According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer is adamant about regaining Hope Logan. Daphne Rose, meantime, desires Carter Walton for herself. Could Liam and the Nose work together to prevent their true loves from being married? Let's investigate this idea as you continue reading. Let's begin with Liam, who has a fresh perspective on life. The man wants his family back now that he isn't dying after all. People now claim that he is no longer a waffle king, but I don't think that's entirely accurate. In contrast to Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Liam told Bill Spencer that he could have hope. That in itself is a warning indicator. Either way, Liam is determined to force Hope to leave Carter. The man even manipulated the blonde by using Beth Spencer, his own daughter. Carter wants to get married to Hope as soon as possible. It is obvious that the COO is worried about Liam's regular visits and attempts to spend time with Hope. Watch for Carter to propose that they run away. However, I don't think Hope would consent to that. The girl already has conflicting feelings. Hope would argue that she couldn't marry Carter without her father there because Deacon Sharp wasn't present at her first wedding. The fact is, of course, that Hope is unsure of the man she should wed. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne still harbors intense feelings for Carter. She came to LA for Steffi, despite not being back at Forrester Creations. Accordingly, John Finnegan hasn't revealed anything yet on Liam's most recent bombshell. Finn said he would have a lot to tell Steffi when she got home in a recent episode. It appears that he has only informed Steffi that Liam is getting well, not all the specifics. Daphne might visit Liam at some point to check on his well-being. Despite their lack of personal acquaintance, Daphne is aware of Liam's significance to her best friend. Could the conversation veer toward Hope and Carter? Will they band together to break up the couple? Daphne has already displayed her cunning. Keep an eye out because Liam's terrible deed is long overdue. Taylor's heartache is delayed because hypocrite Eric warns Thomas Ridge. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that while Ridge Forrester postpones Taylor Hayes' heartbreak, hypocrite Eric Forrester will warn Thomas Forrester. To begin with, Eric will have a heated conversation with Thomas and attempt to prevent his grandson from interfering in Ridge's romantic affairs. Eric will protest to Thomas because he is an adult and doesn't need to dictate Ridge's future. Since Eric is an adult and shouldn't be giving Ridge instructions, it goes without saying that he is a hypocrite. When Thomas is acting in the same way, it is unfair for Eric to criticize his actions. Nevertheless, because he is so insistent about his parents remaining together, Eric will continue to feel that he is correct and that anyone who believes Ridge should be with Taylor is mistaken, including Thomas. Eric will sincerely doubt that Ridge can be happy with Taylor, even though Thomas will defend their romance. The only woman who can please Ridge and leave him with no regrets, in Eric's opinion, is Brooke Logan. Ridge won't be able to disregard his father's counsel because Eric has a history of pressuring Ridge to approach Brooke. In addition to worrying that sticking with his engagement to Taylor might be a mistake, Ridge will think about all Eric has told him. Eric is aware that Ridge secretly still desires Brooke in light of what transpired in Naples. Since Brooke and Ridge are meant to be together, it's clear that this plot point will eventually lead to their next phase of their relationship. Ridge will be unhappy for the time being as he supports Taylor rather than returning to Brooke. According to spoilers, Ridge won't provide Brooke the reconnection she desires just yet, so he will postpone Taylor's heartbreak. Given that Taylor has been pressuring him to establish a wedding date, Ridge might make matters worse. Taylor is going to have a harsh awakening since she thinks she and Ridge will live happily ever after. Thomas's obsession, Eric's eerie words, and Ridge's suffering. Here are some spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate Ridge Forrester feeling split and tormented in tomorrow's episode. His son will keep thinking about what Eric Forrester said. What does this portend for the futures of Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes? Let's talk about what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera, as you continue reading. Let's begin with Eric's eerie remarks to his son. The father believes that by going ahead with the wedding to Taylor Hayes, Ridge is committing a grave error. Although he disagrees with Ridge's decision, it was impolite of him to remain silent about Taylor's news. Regardless, Eric is pressuring his son to call it quits on the engagement this evening. In the meanwhile, it appears that Taylor and Thomas Forrester are collaborating. It's clear that Thomas is pressuring his father to wed his mother. Additionally, there was the guilt that Thomas needs to marry Tridge in order to feel less alone. I'm not sure if his parents' marriage will alleviate his depression brought on by a failed job and cancelled engagement. He is obviously reporting back to Taylor though. According to the young man, he even advised his father to be a man. According to previews for the upcoming episode of The Bold and the beautiful, Ridge and Taylor have met. She has wine ready, of course, and wants to start discussing wedding dates right once. Taylor continues to apply pressure despite Ridge's strife and division. She wants the wedding to take place as soon as possible, and she wants the date to be tonight. Taylor seems to be worried about losing Ridge. However, Ridge might do the exact opposite of what everyone desires if they put pressure on him. Returning to Thomas, his fixation on Tridge marriage seems a bit worrisome. Ridge even stated that his son's hypertension appeared to be a warning indication. Naturally, Thomas maintains that all he needs is for his parents to be married. But to what far will he go to ensure that occurs? Might Thomas ultimately lose it and push things too far? What is the plot thread you are most excited to follow?